Let's talk about a specific woman. She's working out 5 days a week, CrossFit, Orange Theory, boot camp, always something high intensity. She's not skipping days all the time. She's not phoning it in or sandbagging. This woman shows up. On top of all of that, she is walking a lot, more than 10,000 steps a day. Her activity tracker thinks that she's an athlete because she is an athlete. She's eating clean, lots of vegetables, not much processed foods, watching her portion sizes. She's not eating pizza every night. She's not drinking tons of soda. This woman is disciplined in a way that most people aren't. And she has about 10 pounds, maybe 20, maybe 30, that just won't move. Not for months, maybe longer. And what is genuinely maddening is that what she's doing is working for her friends. Same workouts, same diet, they're losing weight and she's not. So what the heck is going on? Before I even answer that, I need to make something clear. She's not doing it wrong. The effort is real. The discipline is so real. This is so clearly not a laziness problem or a willpower problem. And I say that because when a woman is working this hard and not seeing results, the default assumption from influencers and coaches from all corners of the internet to well-meaning friends to sometimes even doctors is that she must be doing something wrong. She must be eating more than she thinks she is. She must not actually be working out as hard as she says. That's not what's happening here. And what I'm about to tell you is going to feel backwards. It's going to go against almost everything the fitness industry has told you. That's because the fitness industry built its advice around a model that was designed to keep selling programs. It wasn't designed for women like her, busy, high-performing women who are already carrying a full life before they even get to the gym door. So stay with me, because hopefully once this clicks, you won't be able to unsee it. First, if you're new here, hi. I'm Amy. I'm a former NASA aerospace engineer turned metabolism coach for Christian women. And this exact pattern, the high effort woman who just can't lose weight, it's a pattern that I see a lot. Here's what's happening. Every single high intensity workout, every CrossFit workout, every Orange Theory session, every boot camp is a cortisol event, a stress event. Your body reads exercise as a physical stressor and releases cortisol in response. It's not a bad thing in isolation. If you do it once or twice a week with sufficient recovery in between, that cortisol spike is a growth signal. It tells your body to get stronger, to adapt, to improve. But 4 or 5 times a week without enough recovery or fuel, it becomes something entirely different. It becomes a chronic stress. And here's the part that most coaches don't talk about. Your body can't distinguish between the stress of a hard workout and the stress of a difficult day at work. It can't tell the difference between a heavy deadlift and a hard conversation or a sleepless night with your sick kid. It's all the same signal to your body. It's stress. So when you have a woman who's doing 4 or 5 or 6 high-intensity workouts a week, managing a demanding career and a household, showing up for her family, for her church, for her kids, her cortisol, her stress load, it's not just from the gym. The gym is the thing that she's adding on top of an already stressed system. And a chronically elevated cortisol environment tells your body one thing. This is not a safe time to release stored energy. Hold on to everything. Now layer in the diet piece, because this is where it gets specific. High intensity exercise, the kind that happens in CrossFit and Orange Theory, runs primarily on glucose. That's just physiology. Your body needs carbohydrates to fuel that level of energy output. If you're eating low carb, you're not providing the adequate glucose for that kind of exercise. So your body has to manufacture it. And the way it does that is through a process called gluconeogenesis, which requires cortisol to perform. So the diet that's supposed to be helping is actually amplifying the stress response from the exercise. Every hard workout is producing more cortisol than it would in somebody who is adequately fueled, because the body has to work harder to access that energy. You're doing high stress exercise in a low fuel environment and then wondering why your body's holding on. Your body is not confused. It's responding rationally to the signals you're sending it. The signals just aren't what you think they are. Now here's a part that's going to surprise people, especially people who know me: the walking. 15 to 25,000 steps a day sounds like a great health habit. And in a recovered, well-fueled person, it probably is. But in a body that's already doing 5 high intensity workouts a week on a low carb diet, 15 to 25,000 steps a day isn't recovery. It's additional output. It's more demand on a body that's already running on fumes. True recovery means rest. It means your nervous system gets a signal that the work is done and that it's safe to repair and rebuild. That signal can't happen if you're in constant motion without the energy to support that motion. And energy doesn't just come from calories. It comes from converting the nutrients in those calories into the fuel your body can use. If the nutrients aren't there, your body is stuck in a low energy state. This woman is never in a true recovery state. She's always producing, always showing up for her family, her job, for everyone else. And a body that's never recovering is a body that never feels safe enough to let go of its reserves. She's not stuck because she's doing too little. She's stuck because she's doing too much, and she's doing it in a combination that's working against her. And all of this, the chronic cortisol, the under-consuming the right nutrients, the constant output without recovery, lands on one organ that most people never think about until it stops working, the thyroid. Your thyroid is your body's metabolic thermostat. It regulates everything from how warm your body runs to how efficiently your cells produce energy. When your thyroid is functioning well, your metabolism is running the way you think it should. When it's suppressed, your metabolism slows down. Chronic stress suppresses thyroid function. This is not a theory. It's not crunchy quackery. This is well-documented physiology. When your body is in a prolonged stress state, it downregulates thyroid output as a protective mechanism. It's trying to conserve energy for what it perceives as an ongoing emergency. So here's what's actually happening with our high-effort woman. She's working harder, but her body is reading the work as a threat. Her cortisol is chronically elevated, and her thyroid is pulling back to compensate. Her metabolism is slower than it should be for her activity level, and the harder she works, the more the thyroid pulls back. In the context of calories in versus calories out, her calories out number is in the toilet. She's not stuck despite her effort. She's stuck in part because of her effort. The scale is not moving, and it's because her body has decided this is a survival situation, and fat is the reserve it refuses to burn. So what does she actually need? Honestly, the hardest thing she could possibly do. Less, not more. I know that feels wrong. It feels like giving up. It feels like the exact opposite of what you're supposed to be doing when you want to lose weight. But here's the reality. You can't out-exercise a stressed out metabolism, and you cannot restrict your way out of thyroid suppression. You have to restore the safety signal first. In practice, for someone in this pattern, that looks like reducing high-intensity sessions, maybe 1 per week maximum, at least during the initial restoration phase. You may even want to consider eliminating it entirely for a short period to heal. And then replace the rest of your high-intensity exercise with genuinely low-intensity movement and intentionally designed strength training, the kind where reps stay below 12 and you actually rest 2 to 3 minutes between sets. And your walking should stay at a pace where you can hold a conversation. You're not in a race. Increasing food intake, specifically carbohydrates, not junk food, but real food with real carbs, to tell the thyroid the famine is over. Increase slowly because your body is going to need time to adapt. Prioritizing sleep is another huge one. This is a non-negotiable metabolic input, not a nice to have. Building actual recovery time where the body is not being asked to produce anything, actually rest. Every single client I've worked with who has this pattern has pushed back on this because it feels like the wrong direction. It feels like you're going backwards. But you are not going backward. You are finally giving your body what it needs to be able to go forward. But how do you know when this is working? I have my clients track 3 objective markers: their waking temperature and their resting pulse every morning before they get out of bed, and how much they're eating without gaining weight. These are direct windows into the state of your thyroid function and your nervous system. They're not perfect, but they're not subjective. They're data. And we also track subjective markers like their energy when waking up in the morning, sleep quality, and even mindset. As we restore metabolic function, as the body starts to believe the emergency is over, those numbers start to shift. Temperature rises, pulse stabilizes, calories go up without the scale going up, and usually within 2 to 4 months, you start losing weight. Not because we force it, but because your body finally feels safe enough to function well enough to let it go. If any of this sounded like you, if you're working out hard, you're eating well, you're doing what you're supposed to do, and you're still not getting the results you think you should be getting, I want you to hear this one thing. There's nothing wrong with you. Nothing is broken. Your body's actually doing what it's supposed to do under chronic stress. It's protecting itself. It's protecting you. And it will keep on protecting itself until it gets a consistent signal that it's safe to stop. The question is whether you're willing to do something that feels completely backwards in order to give it that signal. If you want to understand what this looks like in practice, what a personalized restoration plan can actually involve, how we track it, what the timeline looks like for real results, that's exactly what I work through with my clients. The link to learn more is in the description box below. And if you're not ready for that just yet, start with the free metabolism quiz. It takes about 3 minutes and it will give you an idea of where your metabolism actually stands right now. The link for that is also below. And if this video gave you something useful, please share it with a woman who needs to hear it. There are a lot of women out there being told to try harder when what their body actually needs is something completely different, maybe some rest. And like this video if you like it, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time.